Hi, you guys. I'm Phil Town from Rule One Investing, and today I want to talk to you about what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard about the crypto boom, unless you've been living under a rock. We've been really going through a major run-up on Bitcoin. Dogecoin, I don't even know how you say it, Dogecoin, I don't know, Dogecoin. But cryptocurrencies took off, right? I mean, they went up to, 60,000 on Bitcoin or something. And they've gained a lot of interest in recent years because, as an investment vehicle, maybe they're better than the dollar. And kind of the idea of a cashless society doesn't seem that far off. I was over in Copenhagen a couple of years ago, and everybody was cashless, But here's the thing: Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrencies have taken a major hammering recently, based on maybe a couple of tweets from Elon Musk or something. But man alive, they have taken a major hit. And today I want to discuss what I think is going to happen with these guys, and maybe why it's just impossible to predict what might happen next and what that means to us as investors. All right, so let's get started here. Cryptocurrencies are basically unregulated digital currency that's bought and sold on cryptocurrency websites, okay? So cryptocurrencies like a Bitcoin or a Dogecoin have gained a lot of interest in recent years as an investment vehicle because of the idea that we're going to go cashless, and many people want to get an investment vehicle or a form of currency that is untouchable by a government. And the reason for that, or actually the genesis of Bitcoin, was from the idea that governments inevitably destroy their own currencies. They can't help it because they're politicians and they want to keep power. And one of the ways to keep power is to continually devalue the currency so people think they're getting richer. When you devalue a currency, it doesn't buy as much. And so you have to pay more for products. And when you pay more for products, then people can make the products, can raise the wages of the people who work there. And there's this kind of, virtuous kind of cycle that the Federal Reserve likes to have us in, with a little bit of inflation each year, meaning a little bit of depreciation in the value of the currency. The problem with that is that when you stretch that out over a longer period of time, like let's say 90 years, you can destroy a currency completely. You can destroy an entire culture's faith in the currency. And so Bitcoin was created and really given a huge momentum back in 2009, when it started to look like the financial system in the United States and around the world was freezing up and having huge problems. Now, Bitcoin and a cashless society are vastly different things, okay? So Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency with the idea that it's anonymous, it can't be hacked, it's never been hacked, but that's very different than cashless society. Denmark doesn't have Bitcoin, but it's got a cashless society. In other words, it's just put everything digital. India is in the process of going digital with all of its currency, but the currency is the same. It's just not printing paper. So they've got the kroner, whatever it is, in Denmark. They've got the rupee in India. They've got the yuan in China. China's looking at going cashless. They've got the dollar in the US. The United States is studying going cashless, and so on. That is not a cryptocurrency, okay? Cashless is completely different thing than a cryptocurrency. The real value of a cryptocurrency is its anonymity and its ability to cross borders, the ability to hide assets from governments who want to take it. Now, here's the problem with that. Back in the 1930s in America, the land of the free, the home of the brave, right? The land of the free. Liberty, liberty, liberty. Well, in 1933, we were in the middle of a depression, and people get scared in a depression. And when they get scared in a depression, they don't have a job. They're not sure they're going to have any money. The banks have failed. They've lost money in banks. They get scared, and they are willing to allow politicians a lot more leeway to do things from the top down that America had never allowed before in its history. And so in 1933, people were just refusing to go consume. They were starting to get scared. I think a little bit of that is starting to happen right now. We're starting to see things tighten up a little bit. We're starting to hear from mortgage brokers that people are a little less ready to just go out there and pop a big price for a house. So we're starting to see a little bit of this start to happen already. People are starting to tighten up, like there may be something bad coming. Well, in 1933, they tightened up pretty darn good. And as a result, the government wanted to get consumption going. It wanted to stop the fear. If you remember, FDR was saying things like, we only have the only fear we have is the fear of fear itself or whatever. So what they decided to do was to remove the dollar effectively from the gold standard in a way that was meaningful. Up until 1934, the US dollar had been tied to gold, and you could buy the same amount of goods in 1933 with the US dollar as you could in 1800. So for 134 years, the US dollar lost zero of its buying power. But in 1933, they wanted to change the rules, and they wanted to get a lot more currency out there to get people spending money. They were afraid that they would never start spending money. And so what FDR did is take advantage of the power people had given him, and he issued an executive order to confiscate all the gold in America and pay people about $20 per ounce. So he did that. He made it illegal for you to hold gold. If you held gold, you'd go to jail. All right. Now, he immediately also removed your ability to trade your dollars for gold, because now you couldn't own gold. All right. Now, of course, around the world, other people could own gold. So FDR then turned around and immediately said, hey, I'll buy your gold. The United States will buy your gold for $40 an ounce. And he immediately devalued the US dollar by 50% effectively, all right, against gold. So what happened is all these European nations poured gold into America because they were in a lot of problems overseas, a lot of fear over there. They poured gold into America in exchange for dollars. All right. Well, so the fear didn't abate. We ended up in World War II. After World War II, the US dollar was chosen to be the world's reserve currency because we had all the gold. And the world trusted us to not devalue our currency. But guess what? From that point forward, we have removed 95% of the purchasing power of the US dollar. It's been destroyed by the Federal Reserve printing more money than we're making. And as a result, today, you can buy a nickel's worth of stuff from 1800, when just in 1933, you could buy $1 worth. And it's getting worse by the day. So Bitcoin came about as an answer to that problem. You put your money in Bitcoin. Bitcoin cannot be touched by a government because it's outside the influence of governments. It isn't a governmental type currency, and that will preserve the buying power of your money. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out like that at all, has it? Bitcoin has rocketed from, a few bucks up to 60,000, down, I guess it went to 20,000, went down to 3,000, and it went up to 60,000. Now it's down into 30,000s. I mean, it's all over the map. So rather than a storehouse of value, it's this massively speculative type of a trading. Now, the problem with expecting that Bitcoin will ultimately always be worth more because they're not printing any more of it, number one, is how do you know they're not printing any more of it, right? You're just trusting something that's only 10 years old. And number two, you're expecting that governments will in fact not be able to legislate against Bitcoin. That is not true. And there's a major wake-up call coming to everyone that's trusting that Bitcoin can stay out of the greedy mitts of a government. It cannot. And the US government is already starting to prove that, starting to demand that the names of people who are trading Bitcoin get given to the IRS. Last year, the IRS collected something like $15 million in taxes from Bitcoin traders who didn't know they could be identified. So this is just the tip of the iceberg in my view. You cannot mess with Mother Nature, and you cannot mess with a government's currency. And when Bitcoin is effectively messing with it, it will be shut down brutally. Therefore, I don't think this is a great place for us to be putting any kind of even speculative money. I mean, if you want to trade it, go for it. You can trade the weather for all I care. But in terms of actual investing, I don't think so, guys. This is too scary, too speculative, too dangerous when you're messing with governments. I think, great, we can go cashless. That's not a problem. But currencies that are crypto-based and trying to avoid government control, I personally stay away. So, by the way, this is not advice. This is just my opinion. Nobody knows for sure what the future is going to hold for this. So, yeah, I mean, you could make a ton of money in a Bitcoin. I don't know that you can't, but I'm sure not going to count on it with my retirement money. We don't invest in things we don't know. We don't invest in things we can't accurately predict. That's not investing. That's just gambling, okay? And if you want to gamble, go to it. Take your money and go gamble. But don't pretend you're an investor. Don't pretend you can figure it out, because you can't. You might as well try to figure out whether it's going to come up red or black on a roulette wheel. So now I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think is going to happen with Bitcoin? Leave a comment below with your answer. I'll be sure and follow up with you. And thanks for watching. Now go play. You guys, if you enjoyed this video and you feel it was valuable in teaching you more about what I think is going to happen to Bitcoin, hit the like button and please share this video with your friends. And if you want more investing content, subscribe to my channel. Oh, by the way, don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. And thanks again for watching.